Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the first X-Men character which is going to be introduced in MCU as Captain Marvel sequel is officially underway. Not much is known about what to expect from the return of Carol Danvers other than the fact that it will be placed firmly in the present. With Danvers' origin story out of the way, the film will no doubt pit the powerful character against a worthy adversary, but according to a new rumor, that villain might be someone very recognizable. Superhero buzz's Mikey Sudden is circulating the rumor that Marvel President Kevin Feige is lining up an X-Men character to be the villain of Captain Marvel 2. This character will specifically be Rogue, who was played by Anna Paquin in 4 X-Men films from year 2000 to 2014. And before going into the details, if you haven't subscribed my channel and you're a Marvel fan, do consider subscribing my channel and click on the notification button because we mostly talk about Marvel. Now Rogue would be the first X-Men character officially introduced into Marvel Cinematic Universe following Disney's acquisitions of Fox. Certain claim he has heard several inside sources that she will be a part of Mutants terrorist group much like her introduction in the comics. Going by the fact that this depiction would be widely different to Paquin's Rogue, it seems like the character would be played by a different actor if the reports do prove true. Certain also claim that when the X-Men are finally introduced, the one character who will not be present is Magneto, who they are considering shelving due to burnout. The character has been played by both Ian McKellen and Michael Fassbender. Going by set photos, Feige is seemingly gearing up the X-Men arrival in the new Disney Plus show The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. In July 2019, studio president Kevin Feige announced the mutants would become a part of the franchise but did not go into more details at that time. It was later reported that their introduction could clash with the return of the Avengers in the film that would not be released until Phase 6, which is expected to be in the mid-2020s. And now if you don't know about Rogue, then Rogue was a runaway named Anna Mary, her surname is unknown, that fled her home after accidentally putting Cody Robbins in a coma. Later she was found by Mystique. Mystique is a fictional character appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics, commonly in association with the X-Men. Created by artist David Cockrum and writer Chris Claremont, she first appeared in the comic books Miss Marvel 16 published in 1978, who adopted Rohio and soon after become a member of the villainous Brotherhood Mutant. As a member of Brotherhood of Mutants, Rogue would fight the Avengers and later steal the powers from a woman named Carol Danvers. As a result, she had her abilities and memory. This soon led Rogue to eventually joining the X-Men to seek Charles Xavier's help. After Rogue's gift emerged, Mystique began coaxing Rogue into taking part in her terrorist activities as a member of Brotherhood of Mutants. Rogue was initially not interested, wanting only a normal life, but after an accident in which she absorbed and comatose a boy named Cody when she kissed, she seemed to give up a normal life and began taking part in Mystique's plan. During the period, Rogue and Mystique associated briefly with a mutant named Blind Spot, whose power to erase the memories of others by touching somehow contracts Rogue's powers enough to allow them to make physical contact safely. Blind Spot and Rogue became good friends, but when Mystique decided to sever professional ties with Blind Spot erased all memories of her from both Mystique's and Rogue in order to protect herself. When Mystique debuted her Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Destiny advised her to keep Rogue out of the action, advice which proved important when several members of the new Brotherhood, including Destiny herself, were arrested and imprisoned. Destiny is a fictional character appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. The character is known as adversary of X-Men. Although blind, Destiny is a mutant recognitive able to accurately predict future events. Rogue ultimately confronted Miss Marvel on her front doorstep as she was returning home from grocery shopping and deliberately absorbed her powers. Something went wrong as Miss Marvel fought too hard and too long. And in comics, Rogue, under dominated of Carol Danvers' persona, invaded the SHIELD helicarrier to rescue Michael Rossi and was framed for the murder of SHIELD agents. These charges were eventually dropped. Among the X-Men, Rogue's life improved, but she continued to struggle with Carol Danvers' residual personality. Danvers' personality eventually grew so strong that Carol had replaced Rogue's standard X-Men costume with Miss Marvel's former superhero uniform during battle, which angered Rogue when she would finally gain control on her body again. Eventually, Rogue was pulled through the mystical gateways known as Siege Perilous, where she was judged by other dimensional forces with the promise of a new life. Returned to Earth, Rogue was purged of the remaining portions of the Carol personality, truly becoming her own woman again, but was also temporarily stripped of her powers for a time. However, after Rogue is emerged from the siege, she found herself back in the abandoned ghost town in Australia. The X-Men had taken up resistance in after the fall of Mutant story. She was confronted by not only the Reavers but by Carol Danvers herself. So she eradicated everyone and whose disobedience mutant psyche had been reintegrated by passing through the siege and being separated from Rogue. Rogue fled from Carol as she battled the Reavers and absorbed the powers of the mutants' gateway in order to teleport herself to safety. Carol arrived before she could escape and plunged through the portal Rogue had summoned, and both of them disappeared. Rogue, as it turned out, ended up powerless in the Savage Land, but Carol had been teleported to Muir Island, where she come into conflict with some of the X-Men's allies who had fallen under the mental enslavement of the Shadow King. Carol fought him, but his vast psionic powers overwhelmed and corrupted her. He then sent her to the Savage Land to find Rogue, and the two battled fiercely. During the fight, there was no enough life force between the two to sustain both Rogue and Carol physically as a result of separation. Just as Rogue was on the verge of being drained completely, Magneto suddenly intervened and destroyed Miss Marvel's persona. Saving Rogue's life, Rogue ultimately saw through Magneto's noble facade when he killed the High Priestess Zeladan, who had amazed an army of Savage Land natives. Shocked by his viciousness, she flew to Muir Island to rejoin the rest of the X-Men, and when her power had fully returned. This was all for now. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, be safe and goodbye.